Scorpio, it's your season. Let's go ahead and see what this Taurus full moon will bring. All right, Scorpio. It looks like the universe is saying to you, put that tail down. If you find yourself hitting conflict, or if there are people that are kind of coming through and maybe kind of wanting to trigger you or push you around, Scorpio, which we all know Scorpios will not be pushed around. Just stand your ground, do nothing, and lay low. Something that Scorpios are actually really, really good at that people don't always give you credit for. And so again, Scorpio, the universe is saying, allow for these changes to happen. Okay, you're aware that things are a little bit funky right now because your inner sense, that soft, gushy part inside of you, and that Scorpio tough exterior is already attuned to what's going on. You're already aware that things are not exactly what they seem, and being in the unknown, being in the mystery is what Scorpios are all about. So once again, Scorpio, if you're not sure what's going on, best to just stay in that space of doing nothing and to maintain, okay? Especially where it comes to the communications. Just withdraw from any arguments or any sort of disagreements and debates, okay? Best not to argue because your stinger might kind of get the better of you in the end. So that's why I just keep getting it really strong, Scorpio, to try to put that stinger on pause, all right? So there's that stinger coming through. This full moon, Scorpio, because it is just shining in your sign. I know that it's a Taurus full moon, but it's in your season. And so your brilliance, all of that energy of logic, intuition, base, the intelligent aspect is going to come into an alignment from this full moon. This full moon is going to sort of peel back that really magical gateway of intellectual awareness and understanding. You know, when you're sort of really just rummaging in all of the feeling and the emotion, and you're like, okay, I want to make sense of this emotion, create some thought, create some logic, create some, not exactly form just yet, but an understanding and an awareness. So again, while you're on some level, okay, Scorpio, putting things on pause, on other levels, your mastery and that intelligence awareness of transformation, transmutation, to just let what's not necessary burn away so that what is sort of the shining truth can come through clearly and accurately, okay? That's what's going to be coming through as a result of this full moon more than anything. And you see, again, this sharpening. And I keep seeing that tail, Scorpio. So don't worry, you'll still be able to put that tail to use, but we want to strike with accuracy, not be sloppy and chaotic all over the place, right? So again, allow that transition to take place. Meanwhile, this full moon, it's going to have you look at all these swords, okay? Scorpio, a lot of this sort of mental energy that's happening. There's this attention, okay, to rest, going inward, allowing for things, again, to integrate. Look at this eclipse. Look at this sort of cocoon energy. But the nice thing about this, okay, Scorpio, is that you won't be in this state for very long. You're almost out of that transition, okay? You're ready to go. You want to go. This full moon is going to give you that juice to want to hit that speed, of just on. But don't hit it just yet. This full moon was going to ask you, even though you do have that skill, okay, what have you learned from the last round in how maybe wielding the sword burned you out, like I said, and using that tail chaotically burned you out. Take that time to understand where to reserve your energy and your resources so that you can strike with clarity, all right? So, and there it is, okay? Guidance to have a smooth full moon ground those ideas, make sense of them. When you're going inward, all of that energy coming through like a lightning rod striking on that tip of the sword, right? You want to give it something affirmative to ground into. So even if it means just allowing yourself to rest, to go on walks, things that are just around the home, tidying up, maybe changing things up for the seasons, that will definitely help you to work with transforming this energy, because Scorpio does have that transmutation fire aspect, that phoenix fire. Okay, so just keep that in mind in your ability to move energy from one state of the mental into another, creating it into something grounded and physical. Even if you're not yet ready to be in that total awareness, you'll be a lot more clear and concise with your steps and aware because of this mastery of the Father of Pentacles, and not so splayed out. Okay, so now this full moon, again, okay, your soul's going to want to have foundation. Look at all these cards that are being represented here. Very sort of true to your Scorpio nature. Here's your stinger and your awareness. You know what's going on. You're attuned and aligned. And then that other aspect of just being able to hold steady, sort of hiding under that rock while everything else is happening around you, whether it is a torrential storm or just a nice sunny day. Sometimes Scorpios are like, I'm not really into the sun right now. So for you, Scorpio, again, rest, relaxation. Don't let anybody kind of shove you around. Not that you can be shoved around anyway, Scorpio, but just kind of go with your inner nature, your core nature, to just sort of be under that rock, lay low, let things sort of happen beyond you, okay? And have a great full moon. Okay, Sagittarius, let's go ahead and peel back the layers, see what this Taurus full moon will bring for you. All right, Sag, it looks like the universe is sort of might be bringing up, let's just say that pain body might get triggered a bit during this full moon. All right, I realize, Sag, that you do have that fiery aspect that you have, even though, okay, this is a Taurus full moon, it's a Scorpio sort of season, on this 31st is All Hallows Eve, it might be a bit much for you. Okay, so your nervous systems, your energy bodies, you might have insomnia, you might just have anxiety, you might just be like spinning your wheels a bit with this full moon energy. Okay, and so with all that being said, do your best to breathe. When you can't make sense of things, Sag, and when it's all sort of wound up, remember, you're a mutable sign. So connect to those people, places, experiences, connect to those energies that are going to help you to ground, that are going to help you to feel calm. Okay, if that's what you want. I mean, if you need to ramp up your energy and sort of work this out with the fire aspect, then hey, maybe you do need to go to the beach and go running and burn it off and get some of that resistance to just clear your mind. Okay, so in that sense, be aware. Any sort of this crazy cuckoo energy that might be kicking in, affecting that parasympathetic nervous system aspect or whatnot, again, sleeplessness, the okay? You're not crazy. You are not crazy. It's the energy, it's the moon. So work with it as best as you can, okay? And let's just see, okay? This full moon is going to be really bringing you into that awareness of, what did I say before? Rooting you, grounding you in that way that is unique and special to you, okay, Sag? Not everyone grounds by meditating, okay, Sag? Especially if you are a mutable fire sign. Your method of grounding could be through physical exertion, first, and getting you into that sort of sweet spot, like those runner highs rather. Okay. So again, connecting to the people, places, and experience. What did I say? Connecting those people, places, and experiences that feel good for you, a sense of home, a sense of maybe even family a little bit, if not through blood relations, then, that soul family. As you know, in these modern times, we are so huge in that adoptive family, that soul family connection. So those people, places, experiences, again, Sag, that are going to help you to feel connected to that feeling aspect so that you can work through, okay, any of that anxiousness, sleeplessness, some of that frayed wiring. The nervous system gets a little bit shot. So we need a way to balance and get an outlet, right, for all that high charge voltage. Because if you were, let's say that this was a lightning rod tower, then, imagine that at your circuitry, grounded in, okay? You may find yourself sort of going back to things. Again, it's this childhood aspect, childlike energy. And that is sort of a theme that's going to be flowing through moving into even November, I feel. And that is sort of something that came up in my meditation, Sag. So you're right on track, okay? Go to that comfort space. Be in a place of just taking it easy. Be in the background. Don't worry so much about having to be in the limelight and be the, what is it that they call the party, the life of the party. Let yourself absorb some life of the party, instead of having to be at the forefront of it. It's okay, don't worry. No one is going to steal your sparkle and shine. It belongs to you. But just know everyone is sort of in a rest mode. You are definitely not going to be excluded from that, okay? So while you can still like bat your eyes and, be around and be the little social butterfly that you are, Sag, no worries, because you're really good about the whole faking it till you make it thing. Not in a bad way, it's not a judgment. That's a good thing, because some people can't, put on that smile for others when you need to, right? This is your time where you don't have to do that kind of work, is what I'm saying, okay? Don't push it. Let yourself just relax. You're beautiful enough as it is. Your gorgeous soul is enough. Okay, you don't have to do anything more than just be you. Okay, you don't have to put on a show. Just be you, beautiful you. Be that beautiful, sweet child. Okay, there you go. I can't say that enough, Sag. So much, you gotta love you so much, Sag. Love yourself and put that love back to you and that inner child. That's what I gotta say for you, Sag. Really, really huge. But let's get that advice though from the full moon and see. There you go. Open up that gateway, that vision to the future, the bigger picture. Look at that. What did I say? Okay, you may be going back to those places if you're not sure of what's making you happy right now, Sag, because there's a lot of craziness going on right now. Okay, it's really cuckoo crazy out there. We all know it, right? If you're not sure what's making you happy, if you're not even sure of who you are right now and you feel like you've lost that sense, what did I say? Ground root, reconnect to your childhood. What made you happy in your childhood? Go to that relationship with your parents if they were healthy or unhealthy. If it was unhealthy, put that light there to that healing. If it was healthy, put that extra gratitude, love, and light there too, and give that oomph so that this rainbow, okay, when it's sort of kind of like that magic soup, that soul soup that you're like, okay, I'm gonna go and recover, take a spa day, R&R, okay, let the body relax, let all the energies sort of it's like when you have a big show and you got to take everything down and put up a new one, right? There's the ideas that are marinating on the background. So we're building that track. That's what's going to be opening up for you, okay? Just hold that vision for the future. Keep your eyes ahead. Two of Wands, that creative energy, that fire that you love to just kind of work with and be aligned with, Sag. It's there. So just line yourself up with it by following in the natural flow of your own inner child. Okay? It'll unlock. All right? So now let's go ahead and see. There's that break that your soul is craving. You need that break, that rest. Don't worry. Okay? This sort of gives me that idea of graduation. So it makes sense with the cards that we're seeing here. Don't worry. It's not a judgment saying, no, you're just going to be stuck in child mode the whole time. We all need a little bit of retreat to that land of imagination and wonder to just slough off a lot of the heavy, when the 3D and life becomes too burdensome, we need to go to that retreat sometimes of Candyland. But we don't stay there because our teeth will rot, right? And maybe that's the fear. So let yourself integrate and balance both those worlds. Let that creative, imaginative, fire energy connecting with that inner child that's of the earth-based, doing the work here, right? Let your mind integrate these emotions, the creative energies, with this new reality that you're entering into, okay, so that you can understand what's happening. So more than anything, Sag, okay, mental break. I think that many of us are going to be getting this sort of energy of mental break for the full moon in terms of the guidance. So no matter how much you might want to push things, you know, because the Sages that I know, ooh, the wheels on the bus just keep turning no matter what. Even if those, you know, the tires start to bust at the rubber and whatnot, they just will keep rolling. Slow down, give yourself a break. No one's going to take anything away from you. Don't worry, it's still going to be there. No one's going to change the scenery. Everything that's shifting needs to change and needs to shift for a reason, because we got to get you out of this kind of funky state. So sleep, okay, rest, relax, and recharge. R&R, mental break. There's other things that are going to be developing in the background while you are letting your brain take it easy. Okay, Sag? So lots of love and have a great full moon. Okay, Capricorn, let's take a look at this full moon in Taurus and how it's going to be working with you. Okay, Capricorn, it's your time to sort of, I guess, rise and shine, you know, rise to the occasion. You're going to get a boost of revitalization during this full moon. I see that you will start to feel and see the sort of karmic retribution in your own life cycle kick in, and might be just in small ways. And you know what, this full moon, it may take a minute for it to kick in, all right, but just trust and know that this full moon is going to be opening up that energy. You will likely be feeling it, but like I said again, if you're not seeing those signs just popping off right away, Capricorn, if you're not, this is the opening to that gateway, all right? And as you know, if you're watching this, you should know, you likely do know though, no judgments, everything aligns in divine perfect time and order. So just let this sort of be an opening to the past being shed, and it's a bright new day ahead. All right, that's more than anything the guidance that the universe is sort of pushing through in this full moon energy for you, Capricorn. So part of what I'm getting with this is, if you've had areas of self-doubt, if you've been wondering, my goodness, is the past going to come back to haunt me, because all these feelings, you know, maybe you're feeling some creepy stuff coming through, don't worry. That's just maybe your nervous system sensing the changes, you know, because there's a lot of changes happening. So you're part of that in a very big and positive, bright way. Okay, Capricorn? So this full moon, it'll make you a lot more, it'll bring you back into that inner sense of that, the artist, okay, that fiery creative aspect within. Maybe not exactly yet ready to all out express, but putting you, again, remember what I said, that karmic retribution, almost like turning a new page. If you've been in a space of self-sacrifice and whatnot, for example, Capricorn, and it's, you know, you've really given a lot of your time and energy to work and family and relationships and life in general, you know, and less of that energy to your own creative pursuits and passions, this full moon will likely start to stoke that fire a little bit, maybe bring your attention to those creative needs, your spiritual needs even. Okay, and not in a negative way. It's going to be in a good. It should feel very comfortable, very good. You should already have some ideas and or familiarity. There's comfort with connecting to this kind of energy, this fire energy. Okay, Capricorn. So just sort of ease into all of it. All right, because you're worthy of expressing that creative artistry. This right now is saying that the moon is going to be reawakening you and maybe inspiring that creative fire to kind of come back to life, if for whatever reason it's been smothered or a bit blocked. Okay. Okay. Sharpening your sense of self-awareness in just kind of seeing what tools are available for you to use to create your magic. Okay, Capricorn, even though on an artistry level, creative level, you might have a very open, vivid, artistic mind and imagination on that intellectual aspect when it comes to narrowing that creative energy, bringing it into logic and form, it might be a little bit rusty. You might need, and or there might be some new pathways that you're going to be wanting to open up to. So let's just say that you were doing painting before, and then you put that down for many, many years. You used to do oil painting, and now you want to pick up painting, but maybe it's not oil, but it's acrylic. So you're going to be learning a little bit to how to apply who you are now who you were, but who you are now, right? And the skills that you have now, even though they might be beginner skills, or you might still need to learn a bit with that same creative sponge potential that you have to absorb, right? The frequencies around you to put it together to something cohesive and magical. Okay, Capricorn? So, advice for this, having a smooth full moon, be in that space of receptivity. Look, there's this beautiful essence energy of opening up, this heart chakra energy, but with the swan, okay, and the sword, this awareness, you might still be a little bit too open-hearted, so don't hurt yourself. Okay, don't hurt yourself because these are very also intense waters, you know. So stay in your comfort zone. Make sure to not keep your guard up, but keep your boundaries aligned and aware. Okay, like self-respect type thing. Don't let people just run it over you, steamroll you. You've got precious cargo here with your creative ideas. You don't need to share them with everybody. This is for your own spirit to acknowledge and be aware of, and get to know your new tools and your new self, so that you're not again you're handling them properly. You can cut yourself. Okay, hold it at the butt of the handle, not the blade. Okay, and so to have again a smooth full moon, be in that space of receptivity, be in more of that emotional energy, that flow. Go with the flow more than anything. Okay, Capricorn. And all right, to just follow in, align, and capstone with these energies, your soul is definitely going to be craving and longing for that sense of reconnection, reunion with those childlike energies. You know, this is a theme that's coming up and that I've been seeing, this clean slate sort of energy that we're preparing for. And in order to have that, it's good to reconnect with those pure, unconditional love, emotions, and memories that we've had from childhood, because, you know, we've really gotten put through the ringer in having to address all the pain body stuff, right? And so now we're opening up to softening. We're opening up to grounding and nurturing ourselves, you know, as we roll into that winter, really sort of going into the soothing aspect, reconnecting and realigning with people, places, and experiences that are soothing to the soul, that stimulate us from that childlike sense of wonder. Okay, Capricorn, so have a great, beautiful full moon. Okay, Aquarius, let's take a look and see how this Taurus full moon will be for you and what sort of energies it will be bringing. Okay, Aquarius. This full moon, you know, this card came up for another sign, interestingly enough. Not that it has anything to do with you, Aquarius, because this is all about you. You might be spinning your thoughts this full moon. There might be a lot of things that sort of are coming up, triggering that underbelly, just that residual, like regrets, past regrets, places like from even 2 or 3 months ago, or like, oh my gosh, what did I say and why did I say that? Should I have said that? Should I have resaid that in some other way? Okay, Aquarius, this full moon is really going to be sweeping, doing a clean sweep of any lingering particles underneath any rugs, any, under the bed. It's like this full moon is really going to be cleaning up all of any lingering dust particles. And so as that air, you will be feeling that energy and disturbance, maybe a little bit too close to the nervous system. All right. So, okay. That being said, this full moon is really going to bring you into this awareness of how important and significant and sacred your home space, grounding into places of familiarity, you having your own sense of stability and routine. Okay, Aquarius? I cannot stress this enough in how if you're hitting areas where you're trying to run your day and you don't have things lined up, but you're getting frustrated and you're hitting all this chaos, this full moon is going to make it very, very apparent how having a solid plan, maybe not weeks and months in advance, but in your own self and mind so that you can keep things on track and not kind of get spun out. And it's not you, okay, Aquarius? It's not you. It's all of this energy that we're hitting right now, all right? And so the full moon is really going to, and this is a positive thing, help you perhaps to get resorted. You're going to find a new foundation perhaps, and or lock into one that you maybe started out with that was very successful, but then life happens, this happens, and then you start to spin out with your tornado. Right, Aquarius? So keep that in mind, that having that structure, having that 3D touchstone, where you're aware every day, keys are here, this is here, that is here, this is, what I'm saying, a routine. And then just, I mean to say so basic, a 9 to 5, but something to help keep that wind energy grounded and centered so you're not sort of spiraling out. Okay, you're getting carried off into gosh knows where, off into the sunset. All right, so again, revisiting a sense of structure, order, balance, alignment. Okay, look at this. What did I say? When I see this 7 of Pentacles showing up sometimes, Aquarius, I think of making plans 7 days of the week, like having a plan. And what did I just say? Okay, so again, can't say this enough. If and when you feel yourself spinning out, and Aquarius, that energy where, and you get, if it's frustrating and go to your basics, get grounded, go to the physical, get to the 3D, get to a plan, form a plan. That's all you need, and then you'll get back on track, okay? So it's like having these pebbles, touchstones. Okay, this is what this is for each day of the week or whatnot. Do what you got to do in that sense to make it work, but you can. You are a fixed sign, remember that, okay? And so with a fixed sign, even though you're winning, you can move, right? You still need an anchor point so that, what did I say, you don't just kind of get spun out and then just sort of waft up into the sky, So keep yourself grounded if you want to make use of all that strong wind tunnel energy. Daughter of Cups. Some guidance to have a smooth full moon. Be in that space of receptivity. Be open with the heart. Maybe not too big and open. You're still a little bit tender. Okay, and part of it is being that self-awareness of your own soul's sweetness and uniqueness. Get to know, this essence of inner child, I feel and see highlighting for pretty much everyone. It is this sort of collective energy of being able to start on a fresh, clean slate in a way, but with that memory and intelligence of, learned experiences and whatnot. So Aquarius, this definitely is aligning with you, and it's aligning with that aspect of feeling an emotion, which I know can be difficult sometimes for Aquarians because it's all that air, right? But when you can combine a beautiful sort of that light with that air and that water, it can be a sweet rainbow sort of tornado, maybe, like a sweet little whirlpool of light, I guess, something like that. Let's just try to make it something positive and bright and beautiful, but really allowing you, Aquarius, to tap into that childlike sense of feeling nature, okay? And that's a beautiful thing. And so, let's see. Aquarius. Really, really take that time to feel. Okay, what did I say about connecting to those emotions? This full moon, it may be bringing up again some heartache, some pain for you to make sense of. Maybe the feeling was there, maybe the wound was there, but the mental aspect, that Aquarian nature of having that control of logic and intellect and order wasn't quite aligned to make sense of the pain that the body was feeling. And so now that your heart, that childlike essence of innocence, is open and ready to connect, right? It seems like you might be ready to make sense of what's going on inside. So make a plan, let yourself take it step by step, okay? And no rush, no pushing, but just in knowing yourself, know that having, making sense of things, having structure and order is what's going to help you to make sense of the emotions as well, because you can backstep. You can say, okay, what happened in my childhood? What am I feeling from my childhood that is just, what's that knife in my brain, that needle in my brain? See? That's causing me that nutsness. I can't figure it out with my thoughts, so I got to go to the feeling. And in the feeling aspect, this goes to what the ancestral aspect, the roots, that red energy, the blood, the roots. So likely that there's some, again, childhood stuff going on for you to address. Okay, Aquarius? So sending you lots of love and healing light, just as with everyone, of course, this full moon. Okay, Pisces, let's go ahead and see what this Taurus full moon will bring for you. Okay, Pisces, right on time. Everyone is really getting that hit with that childhood reconnection energy, and you are not being left out whatsoever here. So, universe is really kind of bringing you this opportunity to sharpen and align your mental acumen. Really, sort of, it's almost like if your eyes were out of focus, the universe is helping you to align your vision a bit. And in doing so, okay, make sure that you're aware of what the rest of your body is doing. I don't want you to hurt yourself, Pisces, okay? And so, because we have this sweet Daughter of Swords energy here, this is all about stimulation, intellect, ideas, and opening you up for, let's just say, I'm getting a goal setting, short-term goal setting. I know that, Pisceans, very busybody, love to kind of move around that cardinal energy. So this should be a nice visit for you. But again, what I'm getting here with this sword that this sweet little owl is standing on, be sure not to sort of run yourself ragged. Okay, don't let that fishy energy of being able to kind of swim and move through things get carried away too much with that air energy or dry yourself out. Okay, take that time to ground and reconnect to that watery aspect of you as you need to. That's all I gotta say for you in that, Pisces, because I love you so much. All right, so okay, there's that fire. So this full moon is really going to bring your attention, Pisces, and standing your ground maybe a bit. Activating, what did I say? Bringing your awareness intellectually to what's around you. Spiritually, you're going to get some ignition kicking in. There are some pieces of the puzzle, Pisces, that may start to make sense in your world that didn't really make sense before. And or you might be getting these light bulb aha moments that you used to have, earlier on, like in my old days, in your youth or whatever. And even, it doesn't matter, even if you're 20 something, right? Or even if you're 15 and watching this or whatever. There's going to be this aspect of spiritual alignment and awakening on a whole new level coming through. And this just feeling motivated and inspired is what I get. So maybe a little bit intimidated, because I know, Pisces, you're so sensitive in that feeling nature. So just like I said before, calm and ground yourself, okay? Okay, working with that fire energy, okay, Pisces, this Son of Wands coming through and just energies you might be revisiting for this full moon. What this is saying, you're going to be getting a respark. What did I say? Of all this beautiful sort of it's creative, imaginative energy coming through, stimulating your intellect, which I know, again, Pisces, the fish, is that all that mind, that's the beauty of the Pisces energy in the feeling aspect, is I think of that eye of the fish and the mind, so with this full moon, don't worry about, reflecting on childhood stuff. I know for some Pisceans, they don't really like to think about the past because they're just so emotional. But go back to the parts of your childhood that made you feel good, like the fun stuff. If you've really been straining yourself and putting yourself to the grind, especially Pisces, don't be afraid to sort of reignite that spiritual fire, that sense of joy, passion, livelihood. And again, if it's been just flat and boring, get out there and have a nice day at the beach, at the park, the forest, whatever. Re-stimulate that sense of childlike wonder, creative fire, imagination, playfulness, more than anything, Pisces, so you can move your body. Okay, I feel like that's a lot of what it is moving and expressing that creative fire more than anything. So even if it's just listening to music, singing to it in the car, dancing, you don't have to put on a show, okay? But just let yourself feel that lightheartedness and that fun again, all right? Ground it in as well. Make sure that you're also staying inward. There may be some people this season, Pisces, that are not really like, balls of sunshine, ready to kind of share all that joy with you. And so, more than anything, if you want to have a smooth full moon, keep to yourself. Okay, work on your foundations. Don't worry stressing out about what the next door neighbor is doing. And I don't know if anybody knows this saying, but don't worry about keeping up with the Joneses type thing right now, Pisces, okay, in any which way. This is all about you establishing your core, establishing your core sense of self-security, self-love, self-awareness, and it's from the ground up. So even if it's just readdressing things in the home, and what makes you feel good on a mind, body, spirit level, on a physical level, we're addressing your health, getting your body moving, and meditation, walking meditations rather, okay? I see things just slow movements, nothing too crazy and firing off, all right, Pisces? And there we go. I love this, Pisces, this beautiful sort of sweet, again, that emotional energy, the water energy, the feeling aspect of Pisces. This full moon is really giving you the space to explore. I mean, for all of us, honestly, but for you so much, Pisces. Tap back into that sense of childlike wonder. You are so rich. With that energy of love, emotion that the world truly does need right now. So see that in yourself. I know it's so hard, right? Because you're so aware of it in the world around you. Like, wow, this person is so amazing and that person is so amazing. Guess what, Pisces? So are you, sweet thing. Okay, so are you. And I believe in you. I see you. I love the light in you. Even though it's Pisces are they can be so feeling, and then at the same time, they're so like, I don't feel anything. You know what I mean? It's just, it's like one of those things. It's okay. This is all about you anyway. You don't owe anybody anything, Pisces. So just see your own beauty within and shine, all right? Lots of love and blessings on this full moon. All right, Aries, ready to take a look at your full moon, your Taurus full moon energy. See what's coming up for you, Aries. Okay, Aries, this full moon is sort of calling you to shift your perspective. I feel like, wow, you might be feeling so on fire internally, Aries, like in terms of like your sensitive nature, that inner core, the nervous system aspect. I'm so aware of the red, kind of that potent power coming through from these bat eyes here, Aries, and that just indicates to me that inner fire. You're ready to take charge. I feel and see this full moon unlocking a lot of deep core emotion, maybe a lot of deep core just fiery truth. And so, okay, the universe is saying, marinate on it. Allow it to guide you. Allow it to integrate. See what's out there and feel what your target's going to be, Aries, because when it's time, you've got your target locked in, you're just going to be ready to zero in and catch, So there's something potent happening and building up for you this full moon, Aries, and I'm feeling it for you. So I'm kind of like, what secrets are you keeping, right? Okay, this full moon, it's going to allow you to, I feel, Aries, maybe a sense of being a bit more relaxed and aligned with this unknown. Not that you aren't, because you have that lamb aspect that allows you to just sort of be playful with things when it gets a little bit too intense anyway. But I do feel that this full moon, and you see this moon coming up here and this hangman energy, there's a lot that I think is, I feel, Aries, you're way more aware of what's happening internally than what you're giving away, is what these cards are saying. And or that would be the guidance. If you do have a clear sense, if you do have like, okay, I'm zeroing in on this, I'm zeroing in on that, stay with that and learn to sort of keep that energy to yourself and build on it, okay? Keep that in line. Stay in that unknown, okay? This full moon will likely reveal to you how sometimes working in the dark can be to your benefit, because you don't really need everyone seeing your business anyway, right? All right. And so, just like with the rest of us, Aries, and forgive me for bringing that up even, I want to keep everybody in their own beautiful sacred spaces here, but we're all getting these activations and alignments with these childlike energies on some way or form, and I'm loving it. I'm really, truly loving it, and I'm loving that this one in particular, Daughter of Wands, is coming up for you, Aries. And so you can lighten up a little bit. Remember what I said, there's a lot of this intense internal stuff going on, this truth that you're having to sort of hold and maintain, while maybe there's some stuff that you're up against. You know what I mean? Trust that inner, sweet, gorgeous artist, that passionate keeper of the flame. That Daughter of Wands energy is just, as you can see with these sweet flowers on that wand, this gorgeous serpent, not really in the rush, but very attuned. I can see how sensitive, these scales really just vibing on all of the energies that are surrounding her. And so heightening that creative receptivity, because you're so potent and ready and armed with some type of Aries truth, and so allowing that sweet, gorgeous, creative vision of space to absorb and decide how do we want to share and express all of this intensity, because that might be a lot. You don't want to just put it all on blast all at once. You can, but maybe learning lessons from the past, it's like we want to make it last. We want to stretch it out, make use of that artistry, right, and not burn out. So how can we do this? Well, smooth. Okay, advice for smooth full moon, Aries. Wow. Wield that fire. What did I say before? When it's time to strike, okay? So you'll be revisiting some just maybe energies of that childlike playfulness, that fieriness within, lighthearted, where it's just like joyful, okay? Joy play, okay? And in order to really just have a smooth full moon, bust it loose. Let that fire loose, okay? When you get those ideas, all you need is that revisit, okay? That when you have a seed that's in the earth, for example, and it's absorbing all those nutrients, there comes that time when the seed is just, there's that last bolt of light coming from the sun hitting the earth. There's that last droplet of water, that last little hit, and it starts to sprout open. I see that happening, like a lot of this sort of instant transformation catalyzing as a result of this full moon, Aries. So really excited for you to see, what's going to be happening here. Your sense of downtime, just like a pure Aries, is to hold that vision, hold that sacred fire for what's ahead. Okay, this card here indicating getting the ball rolling. So if you've had some ideas, but you've just, again, that missing piece, that just waiting for that maturation, waiting for that right timing to strike. Okay, and then hold that space for the vision and all of the other pieces to align. This could be friends, this could be experiences, this could be the world as a whole, So hold that vision, that sacred space as everything sort of starts to line up, Aries, because you're going to be on fire, I think, this full moon. So just understand that it's all coming from a gorgeous space of transmutation, transformation, that childlike creative wonder, and projection out into the bigger picture ahead. All right, so beautiful stuff that this full moon is unlocking, Aries. Have a gorgeous, blessed full moon. Okay, Taurus, taking a look at this Taurus full moon and seeing how you will be affected. What's going to be coming into alignment for you, Taurus? Okay, the universe is saying take things step by step, Taurus. This Seven of Pentacles, in the way that I am sort of reading and aligning and integrating with this, just as it's in your fixed sign nature, stick with the plan. Literally stick with the plan. Don't veer off course. We are almost through this Mercury retrograde, the Mars retrograde at least. We're almost through that. So stick with your plans and literally don't veer off course, Taurus, because I feel like whatever plans you have set into motion, it's right on target. It's kind of like I see this battle zone around you and like boosh, boosh, and you're just like, the Indiana Jones thing where you're just kind of hopping along and going through at your own sort of pace. And it's like, all right, well, you guys are kind of going crazy. I've got my stuff going on right here. So I'm just going to keep going step by step. Follow in that train of logic. And again, your plan, Taurus, don't veer off of it, okay? Because there might be people that are going to want to like hang on and be like, wait, take me with you. It's like, no, you're not part of the plan. So you know what I mean? So just keep moving forward step by step in your own methodical sort of Taurus way. There it is. This full moon is really going to bring that significance of, boundaries and honestly how aligning with and honoring your foundations is so significant, especially right now, Taurus. As you can see with this Four of Pentacles, you move one pentacle out of place and this is going to be a little bit lopsided and out of order, right? So this full moon is really going to bring you into an awareness of how significant structure and having a solid foundation on a day-to-day level is for you more than anything. So what did I say before, Taurus? Stick to that plan, okay? Please do not veer off of it. Don't worry. There's no, these are not excuses. It's just, you have your way. This is what it is. And it's not, if you don't like it, then too bad. It's not that at all. It's just, I'm sorry. Like, I wish that I could be this way, that way, the other way on fire. But right now, that's just not my nature. That's all there is to it. You don't have to be angry about it. You can just chill. You know what I mean? Tauruses deserve to relax and chill too. They don't need to be all like tense all the time, having to defend themselves, So just chill and know you're safe to chill. There's people out there who got your back, like me. All right. So you may be, though, revisiting those areas of tension. So Taurus, are you ready to grow a little bit? In the fixed sign aspect, are you hitting pockets in your world where you're like, maybe I could change, but it's like, but how do I step out? Because socially, they've seen me as kind of a bee, and like, I know I'm not a bee, and before I said, like, I don't care if I'm a bee, and you can just deal with it if I'm a bee, but like, now I'm like, I kind of don't want to be a bee anymore, I kind of just want to be me, so like, is it going to be, like, how do I do this? You know what I mean? So, It might feel a little bit socially awkward or spiritually in yourself of these changes that you can feel taking place, Taurus. It's okay. You're a fixed sign. You're an earth sign. All right. Just imagine if your big boulders and the earth were shaking. That's your sensitivity levels to energy. And so let yourself be aware of your sensitivity. And like I said, just be like, okay, I'm just going to take it step by step. Even though I can feel like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's all you need to just be aware of, Taurus. You might be revisiting what was it that was really shaking you, right? Was it a person or was it a situation? Is it you? What is it? What exactly is it firing off that's making you feel triggered? What are your triggers, Taurus? Okay. This full moon might be bringing some of that up for you. So that's why it's like I said, grounding, sticking with your plan, staying on that sort of day-to-day alignment is going to help you to process any of these straggly sort of stress energies that come through. For better or, maybe it doesn't feel so good, but it is all for this essence. If you can be in that alignment of that attitude of gratitude and that, okay, everything is love, so what's happening? This is happening for my own good, so why? Just stay in that alignment and ground, and then you will get through it, okay? And so in having a smooth full moon, Taurus, be your charming self. Be your charming self that you are. That's and not necessarily like the life of the party. You have to be the life of the party, but it's that when you enter, it's you bring a sort of calming, soothing pleasure to the room. Just that energy of sophistication, relaxation, and there's this essence of moving this energy. Okay, so don't be afraid to connect with your emotions, and if you see people that are struggling a little bit and needing some of that connection, Taurus, don't be afraid to reach out. You can be giving in this situation. You don't need to be receiving. Okay, that's what's going to help you to be more balanced and aligned with, okay, how do I, if I was more withdrawn and if I was this way and I want to change because I'm not just this way, but now I feel safer to be more outward, just do it. It's okay. Forget the past stuff. Just do it. There it is. Look at that. What kind of breakdown time is your soul craving? You want to get things moving. You want to have that spiritual fire and clarity, going from this sort of chaos and disorder into order, alignment, creative passion, fire. You want to have that chakra alignment and integration. You want to experience life from the inside out, the outside in. So open up to those energies that are making themselves available and open and ready for you, Taurus, because it's there. Okay, it's there and you're invited. And in fact, I try to keep everybody's readings just individual, but you're the first one I think Taurus, that came through so far that didn't have any of these childlike energies in them. And for you, you're like, well, of course not. But I think Tauruses are just naturally so sweet and playful anyway in that sense. So lots of love and blessings with you this full moon, Taurus. Okay, Gemini, taking a look at the Taurus full moon and seeing how it will be working with you. What will the full moon be unlocking for you, Gemini? I don't know, Gemini, your energies are messing with me, or I was going to say affecting me. It's like, do I shuffle? Do I stop? Do I shuffle? Do I stop? All right, Gemini. Okay, there it is. The universe is saying, let's balance, okay? Let's harmonize. Let's temper that fire. You have that ability, Gemini, to shift from one mind to the other. And so getting that familiarity of your own balance, understanding your own circuitry, okay, might be what comes up this full moon. Temperance. So with that being said, if you are in a space where you're just rearing forward, just be aware, this full moon might sort of put up a little bit of a block to you to slow you down, have you stop and take a look at your actions. Because as air, I understand if there's heat there, you're air, you can't help it. You're just going to be fed by that fire. You know what I mean? It's just going to feed each other. But luckily for you, because you're Gemini and you can switch those gears, right? If you want to understand how you are able to sort of use your gas and your brakes this season with this full moon is likely will be unlocked. Okay, your ability to slow down and speed up. So just be aware again, if you're hitting pockets of frustration, it's not about you. You're not doing anything wrong. It's about the universe saying, hey, are you ready to take that next step? You're doing really well, but are you ready to kick it into gear and really graduate to the next step to get to know your special uniqueness, Gemini? I mean, goodness, look at this. This full moon is going to be bringing up this Two of Cups into your awareness, that sense of sacred union, that twin flame balance and energy within first and foremost, always. And temperance energies, look at this. Look at this. Okay, the integration and the harmony of that sacred union twin flame template within first and foremost. And do you know why, Gemini? And look, when you have the two minds, your two minds, you can harmonize into a space of love, loving those two minds so that those two minds can be one. And that's easily how you are this reflection of a twin flame soulmate sacred union template within, right? That one, the two within one, because we have that male female aspect of ourselves operating in our one whole body self, right? Mind, body, spirit. So again, Gemini, this full moon is going to likely bring you to that space of your emotional needs, what you may need and what you may want, and what you're seeking in partnership to be fulfilled on that level, okay? By lining you up and seeing it within your own self. Like, wow, I give this and I give that. So maybe I deserve this and I deserve that, and so showing you, okay, Gemini, are your relationships around you sort of reflecting that same energy? The temperance is showing you, how are you treating yourself? How are you loving yourself? And or how are you both giving that to others and receiving it, right? Look at that. Revisiting this sense of spiritual strength. It's strength all around. With this particular card, since the Lion shows up, and you got some major cards here. Okay, Gemini, the solar power sun with that beautiful sacred masculine energy shining through to balance and take the lead of spiritual harmony. I see this white rose as a symbol of spirit. Again, that infinity sign, balance, alignment, sacred union within. What did I say? And the lion is all about that heart, right? So leading from the heart. Okay, because masculine energy is leading, whereas that feminine energy is that receptivity. Not that women can't be leaders, but it's all just energy, projection, and receptivity. Okay, and that's what we're working with, is that balance and alignment. Big time, Gemini. Okay, there's that childlike energy that I was looking for you. Almost pretty much all signs so far have had one of these beautiful sort of childlike wonder energies being catalyzed from this full moon. And so the guidance for you, Gemini, having a smooth full moon, tap into that creative artist that you are. Maybe it's musical expression, whether it doesn't have to be singing. If you play a musical instrument, for example, and let's just say you've never played a musical instrument before, but you just need some form of exercising that energy. Singing in the shower, singing in the car. It doesn't have to be a big performance, because that's for you. That's, you are sacred, Gemini. And so tapping back in to that inner sense of childlike sacredness from your own inner artist, and how you like to express yourself, how you want to be seen and understood from just, not again put on stage, but just that space of imagination, childlike imagination and wonder, because you have that connection emotionally to inner self-love and that awareness from a space of maturity, because you're mature and stable in that sense, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and whatnot. You're integrating it. Let yourself cut loose. Let yourself be free. Let yourself have fun, okay? And be creative, okay? Okay, Gemini. So, what type of downtime, what type of holiday maybe is your soul craving this full moon? Gonna take a second with this one and just vibe on it a minute, okay? All right. So I have seen this card show up, for other sign. Don't worry, Gemini. Again, like I like to keep it. Forgive me. I don't want to project anybody else's sign stuff into anyone's reading. But I just wanted to say that so you didn't feel too like left out. You know, because I have so much love in me. I want you to know that this is a global thing that's happening, Gemini. Okay, and so maybe this full moon, a little bit of a break from nature matters of the heart when it comes to other people being involved in what you're feeling and going through. Take this time to understand yourself, and maybe that's part of working it out through musical expression or some sort of artistic expression, drawing, painting, even if it is actually doing small spiritual ceremony, honestly, to just work through a process and understand on an intellectual level what this core pain is. You know, in this sense of the roses that I see here, this can be addressing, okay? We always go back to our relationships with our mothers and our fathers. And so if we have a beautiful mother-father relationship, well, then what's this pain that we're feeling here, Gemini? Could it be that, well, we have this gorgeous relationship, maybe we're single and we're yearning for it. Maybe we're in a relationship that's toxic, but we're like trying to hold space for that person to heal, but it's just not like there's something going on, okay, in your living relationships as it is, whether they're friends, you know, partners, romantic, whatever, you know what I mean? Even if it's parents, siblings, this full moon is saying that for you to just kind of retreat, okay, process it out, make sense of what's going on in your heart, because you are whole and complete here, okay, Gemini? But there's other things that have been happening in your life experience that maybe threw this out of whack. So you're going to readdress it this full moon, okay? And I'm just sending you so much love, light, energy healing, and support, Gemini. And we're here for you, okay? So have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed full moon and get all that rest. Take a retreat. Block everybody out, okay? Don't worry. Make it all about you. You're a strong person. The world doesn't need to see how strong you are, okay? It doesn't matter, because even lions and these strong beasts, even they have pain, okay? But it's their business who sees their pain, because they don't, not everybody needs to see it, right? I just had to say that, Gemini, because I feel so much for you in that. All right, so much love. Have a beautiful full moon. Okay, Cancer, let's take a look at this Taurus full moon and see what it's going to bring for you. Cancer. I feel a sense of energies coming and going, okay? This full moon, it's likely going to bring up some, how should I put this, Cancer? You've got just such lovely energy, so refined, so sweet, even though you can be so sour when you want to be, right? But what I'm saying is that really soft, gentle side of you will really be affected this full moon, and you may be very affected this full moon. And as I'm seeing with this Five of Pentacles, you know, I see this beautiful sweet rose as that inner part of you, this soft sort of morning. Maybe you're going to be feeling things from the past coming up, you know, memories, people that you've lost, loved ones on the other side. You know, this is this All Hallows Eve gateway that's coming through. So when I see this card, a lot of times I think of mourning, because I see the black dress and I see just that necklace, the Five Pentacles, you know, just sort of also moving on. So if you've been in a space of just really having to struggle and get by, this card is also an indication of the full moon sort of opening up things for that to shift. Okay, Cancer, so just know that there is transition coming. If you've been feeling burnt out, tired, you're kind of like, okay, I could really just use a little boost here. I feel that this full moon should be sort of supportive and comforting in that sense, okay? Like a little bit of that solace sort of energy. Okay, so Cancer, This full moon is also going to highlight, luckily, bring in and inspire some of this playful energy, a little bit of passion, creative energy. So I'm getting a little bit of tapping into your sensuality, you know, that sensual nature. When we have this shedding, right? Just like everything else, we clear the space and open it up for something new. So I'm seeing, okay, Cancer, you may be kind of bringing your focus into just small things, whether with your appearances, like maybe you're rethinking some things with your beauty regimen routine, or even just with your home. Not big, massive things, not like having to move furniture and redecorate the entire house or anything, but just light. Not to use the word, it sounds so basic. Sorry, Cancer, but like small cosmetic sort of touch ups and things in your life energetically, whether it has to do with your actual physical beauty or if it's like, you know, your clothing and you're wanting to just get some new garments, if it's just things like that. Okay, with the Daughter of Wands, it's receptivity. So I see this almost like maybe you're not ready to buy things, but let's just say you're making your holiday list. You know, if you're that kind of person, you know, making your list for, okay, I'm going to save up and did it or something like that. Okay, Cancer, just that kind of nice energy of being able to plan a little treat for yourself in the days to come. All right, there you go. This full moon is really going to call your attention, Cancer, to revisiting that beautiful watery aspect of you, the flow, returning to the flow. What did I say? I mean, I'm seeing again this rose just so wilted, getting rejuvenated. You know, maybe you're feeling parched, Cancer, and again, needing to feel some emotion moving through, good emotion moving through. Okay, go back, reconnect. I'm seeing you maybe even reconnecting with bodies of water, Cancer. So, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be the ocean, but even if you can't get to an ocean or some kind of body of a natural water, something like that, maybe just a fountain, something like that, or even like if you're able to, really able to, some kind of waterfall, even if it's like an indoor feature type thing, because all of those ions, you know, they call it negative ions, it helps to sort of release and you're just that energy shift, that the negative and the positive energies. Or is it the other way around? I can't remember. I'm so silly with that stuff. I really got to get clear on that, Cancer. But again, you know, go to the stuff that really makes your heart sing and feel good. Okay? There it is. So for you, you even get the Fool. We've all been sort of getting these childlike cards. Most of us, I think there might have been one or two that didn't. But Cancer, you're really getting called to bust out in that energy of that sort of, I want to say, you know, baby-like spirit, that creative, that childlike, really busting from the beginning, you know, really, really, really seeing things from a joyful heart, a clean slate. You're safe to take risks. You're safe to play, because you know how to protect yourself, Cancer. You know how, you know, you have a really good timing of your sensitivity. So more than anything, with this particular full moon, I see that you're safe to sort of start again, you know, those new beginnings. You know, this could be almost like the hermit crab when you've outgrown your shell and you're ready for a new shell. So maybe there, you know, there might be a bunch of Cancerians that are getting ready to move, you know, really not quite moving yet, but opening things up for relocation. But you know what? Maybe I could be ready for a change come spring, summer, you know, next year. So I'm sort of seeing that for you, Cancer. Kind of nice, really nice energy coming through here. But having again a smooth retrograde, be playful, okay? Maybe try some new things. I know I'm not retrograde, but a full moon, excuse me. We're in Mercury retrograde and Mars retrograde right now. And so with this full moon energy, and I'm getting excited here for you. Sorry about that, Cancer. Consider, okay, just opening up to some new things. We're going to be clearing out of the retrograde soon. So, you know, I know I always say don't start anything new during Mercury retrograde, but we're going to be clearing out of it soon. So you'll get to actually implement those ideas very shortly. And here we go. Your soul is going to benefit most from just sticking with your day to day, keeping your plans, keeping your routine, being aware of your routine, and charging it back up with that downtime. You know, so I don't see a lot of busyness around you anyway right now, Cancer. And if there is, you know, if there are some things that are a bit busy around you, I feel like you know how to sort of keep things in their places. So focus, you know, again, on just rejuvenating that emotional body and energy so you can feel balanced and aligned and get ready, okay? Because there will be an opening coming. I see it more towards spring where things are going to start manifesting and lining up again for you. But just know this full moon, you're going to have some foundation that's laying out for you to feel lighter, okay? So lots of love, light, healing, and blessings for you on this full moon, Cancer. Okay, Leo, taking a look at your Taurus full moon energy. Okay, Leo, here's that start off. And I've been saying this for most of, like all of the signs, almost practically, but we're all getting these doses of childlike vibrations, energy, and wonder sort of kicking in. And so the universe, this full moon is saying, play things from the background, be inspired, Leo. You can still be your gorgeous, beautiful self, batting your eyes, and if you want to, socialize, just socializing lightly. But the guidance here from the universe, Leo, is for you to sort of take it easy and to be more observant and aware of your surroundings. Let yourself be, oohed and awed by what the new developments are, knowing, okay, Leo, that there are some things that are still in the process of being birthed. There might be, you may be aware, for example, Leo, that in the long run, right now, okay, I'm going to just kind of mosey about and I might be eating, just sort of grass today, but tomorrow there will be berries. You know what I mean? So be in that awareness, Leo, of taking it easy, knowing that you are provided for and all is well in this full moon. And I feel that energy sort of shifting gears and opening up for you big time. Okay, which is a really, really nice energy, especially for that sweet fixed fire sign to sort of like lean back into, So again, more than anything though, the universe is also saying that there are things going on behind the scenes again. So whether or not you're aware of it, okay, just try to be as lighthearted as you can and not too serious if things are a little bit slower to develop. Okay, Leo? So this full moon, what did I say in terms of just trust here? There might be some things that are in development. Full moon is going to also unlock and bring you perhaps to a next level of your own spiritual understanding, inner awareness, your own next level of faith, having faith in yourself, trust in the universe. Okay, there's some things that are being ignited, and just because you're giving keys, it doesn't necessarily mean that you know where all the doorways lead. So again, understand, because I see that there's this crossing over of energies that are sort of happening potentially for you, Leo, that you're getting these codes of light, these keys for the next level for you to awaken to your own sort of creative wisdom and imagination to manifest in the physical. Okay, that doesn't mean the action's happening right now. You're just barely sort of being given the keys, the knowledge to maybe what's kind of all going on. Just because you used to understand what this color was and that color was doesn't mean that it's still resonating, vibrating at the same frequency as before, right? So just allow for spirit to guide you, especially in unlocking the energies of this full moon, okay? This Four of Pentacles has been showing up for a lot of the signs, I gotta say, Leo. And so for you, once again, just kind of reconnecting with your sense of groundedness, foundation, financial security. Even if you have a nice sort of generous income right now, Leo, go back to your sense of planning. Okay, remember that when you have a nice step-by-step guide to help you go with the flow, it helps the flow to be a bit more efficient and effortless, thereby, making those, what is it, instant manifestations more possible. And that's sort of how they line up. So maintain and align with your sense of balance, structure, and order on that day-to-day routine level, because that's what's going to help you to then absorb and integrate these next. Look at that, the lightning strike, and then that yellow in the center. You want to make sure that you're maintained in the center so you don't get shot off over there, and blow this circuit or that circuit. Harmony and alignment from the ground up is what we're working with, even with this Dart of Pentacles, 4 feet on the ground, right? So you've got the keys coming through. Stay grounded. Let the energies ground into the earth, okay? Your ideas and whatnot. Not necessarily time for that action just yet. Even in terms of having a smooth sort of full moon, okay, Leo, this should be a nice time. It's a lot of this energy of receptivity that we're seeing right now. Reconnect to your own sense of inner beauty. How do you shine? How are you wanting to shine, maybe? And in order to say, okay, where do I want to step from here? How do I want to express from here? It's about learning to just sort of be quiet and listen to our own voices. How are you expressing with your own feeling nature? And we're combining that energy, in a very physical 3D sort of way. And so you see here, Leo, there's a lot of this foundation that we're locking in, and it's this next level, starting over again in like a clean slate, and you being in that position of power to decide in how you want to paint and sort of wield your paintbrush and wand, so to speak, right? What keys are you ready to kind of use to unlock what dimensions? And are you ready because do you understand the responsibilities that come with being a key bearer, right? So keep that all in mind. And that's why there's no push, there's no rush. There's this space of openness, of receptivity, that sacred feminine aspect, receiving rather than projecting, right? So you're just absorbing this wisdom and grounding it in. This is spirit speaking to you, and you getting those activations and grounding them in, being aware and attuned in that sense of the physical and the emotional now. And there's that spiritual though with that fire, okay? And so, okay, what kind of break, what kind of holiday maybe is your soul craving during this full moon? Look at this. You're almost at the end, Leo. 10 of Wands. So if you've been through that spiritual fire, just know that you're almost to the end, okay? There may be some additional work that you're pushing through. Keeping in mind that Leos are sort of, they're the leaders of the zodiac in that they are the only ones ruled by the sun. The sun is that source of the universe, right? Our known universe here, at least for planet Earth. And so that being said, Leo, there's this aspect of you paving the way in some ways, perhaps just in your own life. I'm not saying the whole world, but when it comes to your own life journey, especially and obviously, right? There is just this kind of like this final journey ahead. And so let's just say, how can we guide you, Leo, in using this 10 of Wands as a rest period? Take your breaks as needed. Don't burn yourself out, okay? There's a long journey ahead, but it's not all, the burden isn't much longer. And what I mean by long journey is what may have started off as 72 hours is now 2 hours. And so it's like, okay, we only have 2 hours left, but it's still like, oh gosh, there's 2 hours left. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm saying, Leo. And just understanding that you can put those burdens down, you can let them rest, and also let spirit sort of sort them out while you're in this space of absorbing. Remember, you're in receiving. You don't necessarily have to tackle anything right now. And just know that you're going to work through it piece by piece. All right, the sun will shine, and there are some battles that are better left for another day. That's the biggest piece that I got to say for you on that one, Leo. Okay, so all that being said, have a beautiful and blessed full moon. Stay grounded, Leo. Okay, grounded and bright. Okay, Virgo, here we go. Taking a look at your Taurus full moon. What will be coming up for Virgo during this full moon cycle, All Hallows Eve gateway? All right, Virgo. So, this full moon, the universe is likely going to inspire a lot of creative, spiritual wisdom and energy. You may even feel just, I almost see you just being maybe a little bit hot headed for some reason and just really like, I got to get this done, not done. And perhaps, the mutable nature of you, Virgo, will definitely be feeling these sort of triggers and bolts of lightning sort of coming through as a result of these full moon gateway unlocking some of these energy bodies within you. So just be aware, okay, that you may feel a bit more on your guard. You may be a bit more defensive. You may be a bit more just ready to assert yourself. So maybe a bit more debating or likely to debate during this full moon. So just be aware of that confrontational aspect. So maybe it will be the reverse where you just definitely will want to avoid that. Okay, because you might just kind of steamroll over people a little bit, Virgo. All right, so be aware that might be coming up for you during this full moon. Look at that. When you can wield this energy in that positive aspect, when you can come into that sense of awareness and self-assuredness, Virgo, wow, can you really, truly shine? Focus that light of creative inspiration on your inner world. It can be so easy to project because we want to have that validation and that confirmation that what we're doing is right, that we're not doing anything wrong, that oh yeah, what you're doing is a good job, in other words. This full moon, okay, Virgo, is really going to allow you that space to, in some way admire your own sense of shine, your own spirit inside, So, in many ways, Virgo, I feel and see that you're going to be ready to sort of, it's like a new day, a new start, a new life, a new light, just really pushing through in the energies with this full moon. It's really, really beautiful. And it comes through from, I almost see you kind of getting some work done in your dream state, Virgo, and getting just this ignition coming through, that spiritual fire finally, sparking, that you feel like, oh, finally. And it's like, oh, I feel like finally it's a new day, like any of the sadness and sorrow maybe that was being carried around that made no sense. For example, the things that didn't make sense to you before, Virgo, this full moon should be bringing a lot of spiritual awareness, creative awareness, just turning the lights on in so many ways for you on a consciousness level. Okay, Virgo? And what it's going to open up and ask, and have you revisiting, if you are in a space of turning things around, you had that rocket, then you got to finally flip it over, right? Taking a look at, oh my God, look at all this treasure underneath. This full moon is likely going to have you readdressing those areas of your fulfillment, your sense of those wishes that you had made long ago and that maybe lost sight of for whatever reason because, oh, they didn't turn out how I wanted or when I wanted and da-da-da-da-da. It's still there, but the dreams are still alive. And that's where this fire comes from, Virgo. Okay? So don't be afraid to sort of fill in the blanks about how you've changed, how your goals have changed, and knowing that you're still allowed to dream. You still have permission to access these dreams and goals that you maybe had to put on the back burner and, for whatever reason, it just wasn't the time and place. There's things that you needed to come into an awareness of, understanding of. Perhaps it was your own maturity, soul awareness, whatever, karmic realignment, whatever. Okay, Virgo? Don't give up on your dreams and your goals. This is going to be a space and a time for you to feel revitalized and rejuvenized by those energies. Okay, rejuvenized, rejuvenated. All right. So, to get through this full moon, let go of the past disappointments. Be aware of the fact that you might be acknowledging some regrets, things where when you have these realizations of, wow, I can see how I was, or maybe how I could have done this differently or done that differently, then we think of that. We think, oh man, I should have done it this way or that way, this way or that way. It's okay. Sometimes we need to kind of go through that process so that we can what? Learn and grow. That's how change is possible. And we have to forgive ourselves too, keeping in mind this sweet rose. I like to acknowledge when I get this Five of Pentacles card because, it's still this essence of, it gives this essence of movement, of transformation, of shedding the past and knowing that there's still another side to all of this. Okay? there's still some, even though there are losses, it's that ability to keep moving forward, that ability to keep moving on and to stay focused on that that life aspect. Even though there's this sweet rose that was once really just bright and blooming and full of life, and now it's just ready to sort of, be returned to the earth type thing. And it's in acknowledging those cycles and whatnot, and in forgiving ourselves, right? That might be sort of how you can process and move through this full moon energy. Okay, because again, you might have some awarenesses, even if it's forgiving people that maybe hurt you before, that you're like, no, I just can never forgive them, da 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 da. Maybe you're feeling that time to just kind of let go and forgive, so that you yourself can just be happy, right? Okay, so for you, Virgo, I think there were one or two other signs that maybe didn't get any of these, like, because I'll just bring it up. I got a lot of this revisitation of childlike, energies and whatnot, but it's totally okay, because I could see these mutable signs are a little less inclined toward that, because there's a lot more happening for you guys, I suppose. But for you, Virgo, okay, I see that you're going to want to put all of this energy to use, and maybe a lot of writing. I just see a lot of writing, a lot of this ability of mental focus, clarity, planning. I know how Virgos love to plan. So perhaps this is executing, maybe you had plans, maybe you had dreams, maybe you had goals, but you didn't have the resources, you didn't have the support, it wasn't the time and the space for it. You weren't ready. This wasn't ready. That wasn't ready. This full moon is going to really be starting, like lighting that fuse to get everything into that alignment, and you will feel that big time, Virgo. So if you're in that space and you're fired up and full of passion to just strike with your ideas, your creative ideas, just go to it. Go to it and execute, because this energy is going to be working on your behalf, and it will help you to transform those feelings of loss and regret, so that you can really step back into and align with your ability to shine and really just live a good, positive, and happy, soul-filled life. Okay, Virgos, have a beautiful, blessed, gorgeous, and successful full moon. All right, Libra, seeing how this Taurus full moon will be guiding, aligning, and affecting you this season. This All Hallows Eve, this second full moon of October, Libra. Wow, okay, Libra. So perhaps, because it's close to your season in some ways, this Taurus full moon is definitely going to be shining a spotlight on you. I feel a lot of positive affirmation. There's going to be a turning of the tides that you may feel as well, Libra. In some ways, you could be leading the way just with your air-like qualities, being that cardinal air sign, being able to kind of push some of that energy along, Libra. So don't be afraid to shine this season, especially if there's, not that you have any trouble with that, Libra, your charming self, but this full moon, okay, the universe is really should be giving you positive clarity, guidance. You should feel a lot more affirmative in your actions and in your sense of self, more than anything. Like, you should feel like, oh wow, I'm starting to kind of feel a little bit like myself again. Okay, you will be aligned. I mean, just talk about all the lights sort of turning on in all those directions. Okay, Libra, you're going to be definitely fired up creatively, ready to take action on your ideas, those creative ideas, and putting them into motion for sure. If you've had anything that's been waiting, that's been on hold, that you've been like struggling to see, like I almost feel like if there's been things that have been holding you or your projects back, just know that this full moon is going to sort of help give the green light for everything to start moving forward. Okay? All right. Because you will be imbued with all of this sort of amazing source potential and power, Libra, some of what you may find yourself being called to revisit is your sense of timing and trust in the unknown. The High Priestess here, aligning you with your sense of intuition, that sort of that feminine mystery of being in that awareness that growth takes time, and I have a plan for how something might develop, but until we're actually in the action of it happening, and it's taking form, we still have to sort of hold that space and be mindful that there's a bigger mystery out there. And so Libra, however confident that you might be, okay, remember in learning from the past that there's a lot of other factors at play that are going to be affecting your reality that you are also affecting. And so there will be that balance of your own inner self and your own intuition, your own higher mind being activated. And so even though you might feel all this like wow sense of juiced up power coming through Libra, there's another aspect of you that you might be wondering, oh, why do I feel a little bit gun shy? Why am I kind of like not really pulling the trigger? It's that inner sense of authority that's saying, hang on, let things kind of take its time and order as well. Let the light reveal maybe what sort of, is lurking in the dark. And I'm not saying in a bad way, but sometimes, we need a little bit of that deep mystery space for things to develop, like the womb, right? We need like a seed that's germinating in the ground, for example. It receives the light of the sun for nurturing, but it needs that dark space to also rest and develop. So that's what's going to be aligning and balancing for you, definitely, Libra, okay? Having a smooth full moon, that's where that slowdown is coming. And I'm sorry to be, kind of, what is it that they call, take the wind out of your sails a little bit. But Libra, don't be afraid to tap into your emotions. With Libra, I know it can be a little bit difficult because it's that air energy to really want to get into the watery stuff. But in allowing yourself, okay, to just address those areas of regret, maybe where you might have misstepped, maybe you've been let down, maybe you've let yourself down, let others down, let yourself process that energy and understanding that there's a new day, and learning to, I don't want to say just letting go, but it's also in having gratitude for what is, acknowledging what is, being in a space of allowing yourself to mourn and allow yourself to acknowledge that you feel a loss, and it's not about staying in it, but in acknowledging it, we can then therefore more evenly, harmoniously turn our attentions over to, what's at hand. Okay, it's acknowledging the past, present, and future energies so that we can just be grounded, centered, and aligned. When you have that light shining on you, it's going to bring out all of the shadow, right? It's going to show all the shadow. And so even though you might be fired up, Libra, there might be some other things kind of going on where you, I feel like all this energy to take action, but I also feel kind of off, kind of weird. That's what it is, okay? Go to those core emotions. You're not going to be lingering in them. It's just for the matter of, oh, okay, that's what that is. That's what I'm feeling. That's where it's coming from. It could even just be that you're picking up empathetically on loved ones that are sort of struggling, okay, Libra? And there you go. So what type of holiday, right, is your soul craving during this particular full moon energy? And, just like I think there were a few other signs that didn't have any of the childlike cards showing up. And of course, you'd be one of them, Libra, but this energy of the Father of Cups coming through. So you maybe being more in that position of authority in being a support for others, and not necessarily that you have to get involved. It's like being a cheerleader for people, just being that kind of like, hey, keep up the good work, being a bright ball of sunshine, because maybe you're, that's that heaviness. If you're feeling other people down, it doesn't have to be a negative thing, because if you have love in your heart and you're holding space for others, you don't have to carry their burden. But it's nice to be, if you're feeling sunshine, to share that sunshine. It doesn't hurt to share that sunshine. And you don't have to get involved either, because, when people are in that heavier state, they don't necessarily want to be blasted with sunny rays all the time, So it's about balancing and harmonizing, and just going with the flow and understanding that you're allowed to feel happy and sunshine, and there's others that are allowed to feel sad, and balancing that difference, Libra, between your emotions and others, and turning a leaf and understanding how you can be receptive on an empathetic nature, but not have to carry that emotional burden. Okay, you can just be like, oh, I recognize it, like, just have a good day. Okay, I'm praying for you, you're in my thoughts. It doesn't have to be anything more or less than that. Okay, it's just like, okay, it's like a poopy diaper. It's like, okay, you're not my kid, it's your poopy diaper. So it's like, it looks like a really tough job, I'm praying for you. You don't need this is not that, you don't even have to say that, but you know what I mean, Libra. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I love that for you. You've got the sun in the center just shining through. Be that beacon of light, and if you need to, Libra, put people in their places. That's all I'm going to say, because I feel like having this Father of Cups working on your behalf, you will have that authority. It's almost like a nurse that's saying, take your medicine. You got to take your medicine. You know what I mean? So think about it that way, and have a lot of just beautiful, know that you're surrounded by beautiful light. And I'm sending you all the best and blessings of healing, love, and just kind of going with the flow again this full moon. Okay, Libra? Take care.